Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out Algorand's price chart. And well, as you can see, what we said in the previous video sort of kind of played out, but definitely not the way that we expected to. So if you remember in the previous video about Algo, we were right around this area, and the idea was that this seems to be a beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, followed by a correction down. And when you go on some lower time frames, you are going to immediately realize that this isn't actually a 5-wave. Odds are this is just an ABC zigzag. So we said, you know what, maybe these are the subwaves for an ABC flat, and from here we can have a series of 1-2s if we want to be optimistic. Now we said, if you really want to argue that in Algorand this is going to be the low of our correction, well, okay, you should probably consider having in here 5-wave up into a wave 1, correction for wave 2, and then good move up into wave 3, 4, 5, meaning this move, sure, it is going to be a 5-wave, but it has to get accelerated quite a bit, okay? That was really the important point of the previous video. Now, I also said that if we end up getting a 5-wave on the upside, after it, we want to see a consolidation and then another move up, and we really do not want to see a move down in order to visit the lows in here once more. And well, unfortunately, the bearish scenario in here played out. So what is going on in here, and can we argue maybe this is going to be the low of our correction? I think yes, but again, it's a little bit too soon to be completely optimistic. First things first, let's talk about what happened in this region, and in my view, this was most likely, excuse me, let's just delete all the waves. Okay, this was probably to about here, wave 1, followed by a correction for wave 2. I'm going to argue maybe to about this area, another move up into wave 3, right in here, there we go, followed by an ABC zigzag into wave 4, and then, as you can see, another clear-cut, picture-perfect 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 5. So what do you have? Two sets of 5 waves on the upside. So I think it makes perfect sense to argue that these are the subwaves for most likely an ABC zigzag. And also pay attention to what happened in this initial phase down. Why? Because I think this is a beautiful ABC in form of a zigzag and not a 5-wave, and this actually opens the doors to having a WXY in form of a double zigzag to about this important slow down here, about 16.5 cents. Now let's go around here real quick. Okay, you see, in an ABC zigzag, we are going to have subwaves like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into a correction for wave B, maybe ABC, maybe WXY, doesn't really matter a whole lot, followed by another 5 down into C. And for our wave B, we can also have something called an ABC running flat, and that one looks like this. This is our initial move up into a correction for wave B, which in it we are going to take this initial low, and then good move up into wave C, and in it we are not going to take the height of our wave A. And for our subwaves, this time is a little bit different. ABC into A, ABC into B, and yes, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up into C. Now let's go on the live chart and zoom in more, see what is happening in this region. Okay, so here is my primary scenario at the moment. I think we can say maybe from this high we are having something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down to about here, followed by a correction up, maybe an ABC zigzag. This can also be another 5 wave on the downside. So there is actually a chance that in Algo we are having the subwaves for yet another ABC zigzag, completing the subwaves on a higher degree for what? Yes, we said it earlier, possibly and hopefully for that matter, a WXY in form of a double zigzag. And I really think having like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, I don't know, maybe something like an expanding leading diagonal is like very, very unlikely, to a degree that at least it shouldn't really be my primary scenario. And I do really want to consider this whole move down as a correction structure and argue hopefully soon we are going to either from the current point or maybe from a bit lower get a good move up in order to get back around these levels about, let's say, 22.5, 25 cents area. Now, in like very short term, do we have the setup for a bounce back? I think we might have it, but again, right now, it's a little bit too soon to be completely bullish. You see, if you want to argue that we have hit our final bottom right in here, maybe this is like a very important support, then okay, you have to be able to find first off of the lowest line here, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This specific count is called an impulse. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave or wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. And in terms of the sub waves, I think you know it. We must be able to find, sorry about that one, 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different scenarios. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. Let's say, sure, WXY into wave 4 and an ABCS rusher into wave 2. Now, let's go on the live chart and see what is going on. Okay, so first things first, you have to actually ignore this shadow right in here. This only happened in Coinbase. And for example, if I just go real quick on TradingView's chart, as you can see, we do not have this shadow. So ignore that one, please. And based on that, I think we can say maybe this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, followed by an ABC expanded flat, something like this. And I'm really hoping that this is going to be either like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the upside, which in this case, our move up from the current point has to get accelerated quite a bit, or maybe this is going to be ABC flat, sure, but into a wave W, correction for wave X, excuse me, let's just do this, correction for wave X, and we are going to have another move down into our wave Y. Bottom line is this, I think right now in Algo, it's a little bit soon to be completely optimistic. However, I think if we are going to ever form a bullish setup, this is definitely right on that track. And hopefully this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. And especially I want to see in Algo a rather good, a strong move on the upside in order to especially take this important high for the first target about 19 cents region. Why do we care about this? Because in my view, this is the previous major pivot high. And if we go up in an impulsive manner and take this high, at that point, we can say, you know what, maybe this move down has come to an end. And now it's time for a rather good move on the upside. Do not get me wrong, I still believe on a beautiful recovery from these areas. But whether we have already hit the lows or not, again, I think that still might be up for debate. Now, let's go on some higher time frames, see what is going on in terms of indicators, and then wrap up to this update. Okay, as you can see, unfortunately, still in MACD and the stock RSI, we are having sell signals, so definitely not optimistic, but pay attention in a stock RSI, we are around the oversold area. So this does suggest that maybe soon bears are going to run out of steam. However, this doesn't necessarily tell you that right here, right now, we have to hit our final low. No, this just tells you that this downtrend that we had in the last, let's say, 10, 15, 17 weeks is getting weaker and weaker. Now, what is going on in daily time frame? Okay, so we are having a sell signal in stock RSI, but a buy signal in MACD. So if you want to be a believer on a move on the upside in Algo, I would actually like to suggest to just be a bit more patient and see, are we going to get buy signals in these two indicators at the same time? If we do that, awesome. That can be a really good sign suggesting a move up in Algorand is indeed coming. And I guess the ultimate bullish sign is going to be, if I just go on H1 time frame, taking this important high right in here about, let's say, 20 cents area. Why do I care about this high so much? Because you see, I don't really believe that you can argue from the highs. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave on the downside. Why? Two reasons. Number one, we are having clearly overlapping of the waves between our supposedly wave 4 and 2, and wave 4 is clearly bigger than wave 2. So essentially, this is narrowing your option to only and only having an expanding ending diagonal, which in it, wave 5 has to be bigger than wave 3 and 1. But trust me, earlier I have actually done some measuring. Wave 4 so far to about the lows is smaller than wave 3. So the moment that we get a move up and take this high, at that point, having a 5 wave in here pretty much is not going to be in the cards, indicating, yes, this is 5 up, this is correction down, and the next move hopefully is going to be a good one up. But for now, maybe we should be still a bit patient. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Algorand's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.